Hello and welcome to SolarPV TV. We're here at Green Tech Media's Solar Summit in Phoenix, Arizona, and I'm joined by Mahama Nyankamawu from Novaya Solar. Mahama, thank you for taking the time to talk with us.
Thank you, Christian.
So, tell me a little bit about Novaya Solar and what it is that your company does.
Thank you. Novaya Solar is a new startup based in Palo Alto, and we do off-grid solar solutions for developing countries, starting with Ghana. Our target customer is the person who has no national grid coming to their home, and we use clinics and schools as anchor clients to reach these people.
Interesting. So obviously most of the solar that's been developed to date has been developed in places like Europe, North America, Asia, and we have certain business models that we've developed in the solar industry to sell solar power from solar and to sell solar systems to people. These business models may or may not work in places like Ghana. Can you talk about the work that you and other entrepreneurs have done to develop business models that will work for sub-Saharan Africa?
Thank you. You're right about that. A lot of the business models don't work in Ghana and many parts of Africa because of the high cost of capital. For example, in Ghana, the average cost of capital is anywhere between 25 and 30%. So what we do is that we partner with some of the local banks to get some of these rates lower. And at the same time, we use clients like the clinics and the schools who can pay some of the cost of the systems. That brings the cost of the system down, and the local average villager can pay for our costs. Some of what we do is different from this place because we allow for a down payment for the system, allow the customer to keep the system for 1 to 3 years where we actually still own it. And once they finish paying for the system, it becomes theirs. So it's more like a lease to own type of system.
Interesting. Now, were you looking at other businesses and other industries when you came up with this business model?
So what we did before we came up with this was look at other models that have worked in Tanzania and in Kenya. In particular, we looked at the model for M-Kopa, and we saw that the only way they made it work was by combining the whole mobile payment revolution in Kenya with affordable payments that match how much people are already paying for kerosene and for diesel. So we structured our products such that the costs are not so different from what they would pay if they were buying kerosene on a regular basis or powering their diesel generator on a week-to-week basis. So it's not outside of their ability to pay, and therefore it works for them.
Now that's a very interesting point, that it's not outside of the ability for people living in these areas to pay. And the research that I've seen suggests that there's actually a very high price that people in off-grid areas pay for things like kerosene, diesel, etc. Can you talk a little bit about the economics of solar versus these other forms of energy?
So let me give you an example. We did some of our market study, and we found that for someone who is on a diesel generator for 4 hours a day for a week, if we put a 2 kilowatt system for them, every month they will save at least $50 in their energy costs using a solar system that can be paid off within 3 years. So in a lot of these areas, just switching from diesel to solar already gives the customer cost savings. And for people who buy kerosene and spend, let's say, $5 to $10 a month on kerosene just for lighting, if you bought a D-Light system for, say, $15, within 6 months you would have paid it off, and you would not have to keep buying kerosene as you would if you didn't have a small lamp at home.
Fascinating. So tell me, what's the next step for Novaya Solar?
So Novaya Solar is building its pilots now in Ghana. We are looking to scale and move into other markets beyond Ghana. First of all, we want to reach the 30% of the Ghana market that is off-grid. And once we have validated our business model, we want to go into Tanzania, where my co-founder was an ex-Peace Corps worker. And we want to move into other areas of West Africa, like Cameroon, like Togo, where people have very similar problems that we face in Ghana as well.
Fascinating. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk with me, Mahama.
Thank you, Christian.
This is SolarPV TV. We're here at Green Tech Media's Solar Summit